The year was 1877. Federal troops had withdrawn. Reconstruction had ended, and the South moved quickly to rebuild a world where white supremacy ruled the law. White leaders called it redemption. But for Black citizens, it became a new system of control. A system crafted not in the chaos of war, but in the quiet precision of legislation. Across the South, lawmakers passed codes to separate Black life from white life. Schools were divided. Rail cars were divided. Neighborhoods were divided. Marriage, travel, work, and even restrooms were placed under the authority of segregation. These laws were not accidental. They were engineered. A blueprint designed to replace Reconstruction with a new racial order. And they gave this system a name borrowed from a minstrel character meant to mock Black humanity. They called it Jim Crow. Voting became the first target. In Mississippi, the ballot box turned into a fortress. Poll taxes demanded money many did not have. Literacy tests were designed to fail even the educated. Grandfather clauses ensured that only white men could pass without challenge. In Georgia, Black teachers were dismissed from classrooms. In Alabama, Black jurors were removed from courtrooms. In South Carolina, Black children were sent to schools with broken floors and missing books. Every state found its own way to enforce the same message. Black progress would not be allowed to continue. Violence supported the law. Lynching spread across the South, carried out in public squares and open fields. Crowds gathered, photographs were taken. These killings were not only acts of terror, they were warnings. They reminded Black communities that the promise of freedom had limits. The Supreme Court strengthened the system. In 1883, it struck down the Civil Rights Act of 1875, removing federal protection from public spaces. In 1896, Plessy versus Ferguson declared segregation constitutional. Separate but equal, the court said. But equality was never part of the design. Jim Crow reshaped daily life. Black travelers carried food because restaurants refused to serve them. Black families avoided certain towns after sunset. Black workers were paid less for the same labor. And Black children grew up knowing that the world around them had been built to confine them. Yet resistance never stopped. Black leaders founded newspapers to expose injustice. They built schools to educate the next generation. They organized churches, mutual aid societies, and political clubs. They fought for dignity in a system determined to deny it. By the turn of the century, the South had been transformed. Not by armies, but by lawmakers. Not by open rebellion, but by quiet signatures on statehouse desks. Jim Crow was not a return to slavery. It was its evolution, a modern system of racial control that would endure for nearly a century. They tried to erase it. They tried to silence it, but we are still here, still telling the truth. If this episode challenged what you thought you knew, don't keep it to yourself. Push it forward. Start the conversation they tried to silence. This is Black Justice Untold. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.